Ticker symbol SPY is actually sitting in a very precarious situation. It looked a little bit different in the beginning of the trade, from this morning, which, by the way, I'm actually streaming a little bit earlier now, you guys. So I started at 8:30 in the morning, and I'm going to try to get there around 7:30 or 7 tomorrow. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, let's go ahead and look at the potentials for ticker symbol SPY for the next day. What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by. Once again, this is ARCa coming at you with a ticker symbol SPY technicals and raw price action thread of analysis on this Taco Tuesday. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share the video with a friend so that you and them could consider joining our trading community in Discord called ARCa Bulls. With that said, let's dive right into the charts. Okay, you guys, so we are looking at ticker symbol SPY on the daily chart here. And the reason why I'm looking at the daily chart is because we're clearly within the first zone that I was suggesting for a potential short position, right, or long puts. Since I've been actually a little bit bearish, the markets, right, we're approaching those zones now. Okay, so now that we cleared one of them, we can be using that as support, okay, but we are at a very, very critical resistance level, okay? So in fact, we tried to break upside of this, actually we did, right? So we broke this gap here, and that's very nice, okay? So now if we can face an upside here, it would be maybe short-lived. Okay, so that upside that I'm looking at would be in respects to, let's see, to the 8-hour time frame. Okay, so 8-hour time frame, the 12-hour, and the daily. Okay, so as I think that we are maturing the upside thrust from the ticker symbol SPY, right? So. The reason why I'm saying that we're maturing it is that if we go to the hourly time frame, you can actually see that we have a resistance coming up on the hourly from the SMA 14, right? So now let's go to the bi-hourly. Bi-hourly also has that resistance touch right up there as well, right? And we're starting to get a little bit of a downside bias, not all the way downside here on the stochastic momentum, because it looks like it can kind of go up a little bit and then continue on to the downside, right? So we're in a very, very unique zone right now. And now as you jump into the 4-hour, you can see here that we're overextended and suggesting a downside in I'm talking about the momentum indicator, right? So, but we still have an upside pivot with an upside on the RSI signal on the 4-hour. Okay, so this is there's a lot of mixed emotion happening here right now. Okay, so 6-hour stochastics are suggesting a little bit of a downside here as well. In fact, the 6-hour RSI is suggesting an upside. Okay, so that's why I'm saying that we could face a short-term upside followed by a downside, okay, because I definitely see some SPY bears kind of like piling into this right now because of the overextension in price action, right? But if we were to make an upside move, you guys, so I mean, I would have to say that one of the more obvious resistances would be, of course, the 422.99, right, from this top side of this 8-hour. But if we, I mean, it would be highly ideal that if we can make it here to 425.38. If we can make it to that zone, that would be a very strong area of resistance, of which we can face almost immediately, right? So right when touching that, we can actually face a rejection. But it is a range, right? So the range leads to the top side of 427.46. I think this is out of the question for now, as I do see some a little, the very, very tiny signs of bearishness coming in the SPY, right? But I still am remaining bearish to SPY. But yeah, temporary upside. And remember that anything that I'm saying here could be invalidated fairly soon, right? But yeah, that's essentially what I'm looking at, you guys. A potential bearish formation happening here. It's an ascending channel too, right? So. And in fact, yeah, why don't we kind of just draw that here, just so that we can have a clear idea over what the heck ARCa is even saying, right? So just like this here is potentially the channel that we're riding, right? So which could entail that, let's see, we have 1, 2, that's the second test of the resistance, meaning that we could actually I mean, if that's the case, then we can actually face a resistance touch, I would say, at the top side. And I mean, if it were the 8-hour candles here, so that would be actually 423.49, with a topside wick of about 425.35, right? So from that area, that would be the third test of the resistance and the capitulation phase, of which then we would come back to validate this area as support, 415.96 to 413.32, before facing another upside here. And I mean, sometimes, guys, it's the third touch ends up being a capitulation candle. The capitulation starter, right? The third test. So meaning that we already got test number 2 here. We accumulate test 3 and then a huge capitulation. Oftentimes, the third test leads to a breakdown outside of the formation before us coming back up to validate that newly converted support into then a resistance before a continuation to the downside. Okay, you guys. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. I do see still an immediate short-term upside. Okay, so as I'm pretty sure I may actually play some long puts on this when we do reach those upside targets. And but yeah, just please remember that first and foremost, I am not a financial advisor. Take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever. I need you to do your own due diligence and everything will be cool. But with that said, you guys, I wish you very well a very, very good night, and I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios.